Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to a very special edition of First Cut Live. We are here to break down the crazy news coming out of Hollywood today about the Paramount acquisition of WB and about Netflix backing out. Here to do that on an emergency Thursday night. RB3 in the house. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. We are doing things that have never been done before. We are live on TikTok and on YouTube, and hopefully I'm going to check right now. We also might be live on YouTube Shorts. So we actually have multiple live streams going on right now. So we're cooking.
Damn, how does that work, man? If we're on YouTube, what's the difference between YouTube and YouTube?
So with the YouTube Shorts, this is all, technology. And yo, it's going. Oh, it's going too. Look at it. Let's go, my boy. Let me see. Live stream's going on right now. Yeah, okay. So yeah, YouTube Shorts. If you don't know, YouTube Shorts. They've been popping off lately. So yeah, we could go live from both the horizontal, this way, the long way, or vertical too, baby. We vertical too. So, This is a game changer, gang. This is a game changer. Hello to the YouTube, to both YouTubes, to TikTok, to everybody who's tapping in. First Cut, baby, we doing it.
Hey, man, we doing it, and I say we get right to it, man. This is why we're here. Emergency Thursday night. RB3, how you feeling, man? This is crazy. So for anyone who hasn't heard, it looks like Netflix is officially backing out of the Warner Brothers deal, giving the room for Paramount to have the best offer according to the WB higher-ups. That means that Paramount is going to acquire Warner Brothers. And like you said previously in our other episodes, RB3, this is everything, which includes the television and includes the IPs that they have in the film industry. And there is a very sad, dreadful moment right now. If you're in LA, if you're in Hollywood, RB3, tell me how you're feeling, man.
Man, it's a sad day. It's a horrifying day in a lot of ways. Honestly, it's a day that, when the Netflix side of it, because of course, if you've been following this news, Warner Brothers has been up for sale. Netflix had bought it initially in January, and we thought the deal was pretty locked up, but apparently not. Now we're looking at, February comes around, Paramount raises the price. They get some magic money from Big Daddy Larry Ellison, and basically the Trump-approved studio got the green light from Trump people, basically saying, "Hey, we're not gonna let the Netflix deal happen. Paramount, big up, get your money right, and we're gonna make it float your way." Daddy Trump made it happen for him. Even at least according to, there was reports that Ted Sarantos was even in Washington, D.C. today trying to talk to higher up Trump officials, if not Trump himself, to, kind of get a better understanding of the regulatory hurdles that they're going to undertake. But, the results were the results. We ended up where we ended up. And, man, it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, do you feel like that's what it is? Obviously, there's a lot of speculation in the water right now, and not everything is, to clarify, it's not official yet, but it is official-ish. But do you think that's what it is? Do you think that Sarandos got the word that his deal would be shot down anyways by the current administration? And he was like, all right, if that's the case, then I'm backing out?
Yeah, it was probably a combination of both. It was okay. Like the money for Paramount just kept getting higher and higher. People obviously, if you know the ins and outs of the deals, and I'm going to pull them up here on the browser as well, so hopefully we can see them in a second. But, Netflix was looking to buy Warner Brothers for $27.50 per share. Paramount was offering $30 a share for the entire company, including the TV networks. We're going to have to break down what the buying of the TV networks is going to mean too. But after that deal kind of, the stockholders said, hey, this Netflix deal is good. We're going to go with this. Now, after Paramount raised their offer, now it's looking like $31+ a share. The money's looking too good. So it's a combination of like the money's looking too good for the shareholder side. The regulatory approval is going to be much easier and much quicker. We already saw, like we talked about on First Cut Live on Monday, Tess Santos in Congress a couple of weeks ago getting pressed, them calling Netflix the most woke company in the world, which is like literally the stupidest thing anybody's ever said, like in our entire lives. I mean, Netflix being overly woke is like ridiculous. But that just all goes into it just being harder for the Netflix thing to work out. And now we get the Trump sanctioned Warner Brothers studio under Paramount / Skydance.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know and who's been keeping up a little bit with everything that's going on, the biggest issue that people who currently right now who work in the industry are coming to terms with two things. I said this before, but I'll say it again. First thing is job loss. Massive, massive job loss. And the biggest thing with the Ellisons is that they've made it very public that they're pro job loss, that they're pro streamlining as much as they can, getting rid of redundancy and making sure that people don't have jobs. They've been kind of vocal about it, kind of open about it. They see it as just part of the business. That's a problem because Ted Sarandos has made the opposite very clear. He's trying to, or at least he's publicly said, that he's trying to keep as many jobs as possible within the Netflix deal. But now, obviously, that's shut down, we get the much more aggressive Ellisons who are, pro, getting rid of jobs. That's first. And that's always going to be the biggest thing when it comes to mergers and acquisitions that people need to realize. It's a massive job loss. It hurts people. It hurts industries. It hurts the rest of the economy, the local economy, completely. So that's bad. The second thing, and this is the one that people are focusing on the most when it comes to online, is this. This is the coziest, studio head, friendliest, most pro right-wing propaganda machine that we've seen probably ever. And that's just the truth. And the way that we're currently going more and more to this extreme right and this more and more whatever Orange Man says is now taking over Warner Brothers, which is a bad, bad situation because the Ellisons are very openly pro basically MAGA agenda, if you want to call it, right-wing propaganda, if you want to call it. And now that they have Warner Brothers, it makes people feel like, wait a minute, can we go even further to the right? Can we go even further to a dire situation where we do have state-sponsored media, where we do have state-sponsored movies? And by state-sponsored, I mean right-wing state-sponsored, to the point that it becomes open that you're not welcome if you don't have these ideals and or if you don't present yourself in a certain manner. And that's scary, RB3. That is very, very scary. So how do you feel about all that situation, especially when it comes to those two things that seems to be where Paramount wants to take the movie industry?
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, it's unfortunate. It's like, it's such a losing business model too. I feel like, especially in this time and day and age, we already have seen, I mean, there's been multiple reporting on it earlier this week through Variety and things. Their slate last year was terrible. I mean, they had one of the worst underperforming slates of any major studio in a long time. They lost over $582 million, I think, in box office, just from Mission Impossible 8 underperforming, Smurfs movie doing nothing. They had multiple movies that came out last year that were just non-factors. And this year is looking no different. I mean, they're saying this new Scream movie is going to have a record opening, maybe for the nostalgia, for the old 90s heads or whatever. But I'm telling y'all, the new fan base that came into the Scream franchise after Jenna Ortega, after Melissa Barrera, and me and John Mayer, we actually recorded an episode of Real Ones that's actually gonna come out tomorrow for the members. If you're a member of the First Cut channel, you'll be getting it first, and on the podcast feed. So subscribe to the podcast feed, #1 for Real Ones, REEL ones for on the podcast. You'll get it tomorrow. The members are getting it tomorrow. The rest of the world probably get it Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. I don't decide, but the members are getting it tomorrow morning. Anyway, me and John broke it down. John's a big Scream fan. He grew up, like he's from the 90s. He grew up watching Scream, and that's his jam. This ain't, it wasn't my jam. Like, I like the first Scream. I like Scream 2. Scream 3 is entertaining because it has the Kevin Smith cameo, but like, I never really particularly cared for the Scream franchise until 5 and until 6. And you're telling me the 2 stars of my new favorite pieces of these movies are gone. You're telling me that, and they fired them for this whole for taking an anti-genocide stance on what's happening in Palestine. And now we're getting to the release of this movie. They're using meta AI to promote it. You're going Kelshi and, try and guess the killer. It's one of the worst marketing campaigns I've ever seen in my entire life. And I can't wait to see the Scream 7 stuff flop. But that's just that's what Paramount is making these days. They're just making right-leaning, safe kind of propaganda movies that can appeal to Trumpies, can appeal to their Taylor Sheridan crowd. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing they got on Paramount Plus is like 18 Taylor Sheridan shows and like maybe one Tracy Morgan show for the black people. But, you already know what type of time it is with Paramount, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what people don't understand is that when you bring up this stuff, people don't really get it because they're like, what are you talking about? But when you see a slate and you see that the biggest show they have coming out now, literally now, like next week, is a show called U.S. Marshals. What? Yeah. And it's like basically, again, imperialist U.S. right-wing propaganda. That's what it is. And I think people don't understand that this is real. This is what their agenda is. This is what they want. This is their vision. They want to have a very clear, apparent, blunt agenda that appeases to MAGA and to whatever MAGA says. And that's a very terrifying situation, especially with what we said on Monday, RB3, when it comes to voting, when it comes to rights, when it comes to human rights, when it comes to any kind of right now is kind of just being lost and poured down the drain. Are we now losing the ability to create media for ourselves if this mega corporation is now serving one God, apparently God King, whoever they want to put in charge? It is kind of terrifying. It is terrifying because it is one of those things where anytime you want to make art, you want to have the ability to at least appear to hold power accountable, or at least appear to question power. Obviously, media can't do that in the full capacity because it always has a connection to that power, but at least appear, at least try. And now it's going to be just bootlicking, literally bootlicking media, pro-Zionist IDF propaganda. Apparently the Ellisons are like one of the biggest donators like to the IDF too. Like, this is some scary, weird shit. And it should terrify anybody because, again, state-run media, it is some really scary, weird shit. It just is. Yeah,
nah, we ain't trying to see, this. It's a monopoly. And I know Paramount was arguing that Netflix is buying Warner Brothers is a monopoly. Also, shout out to everybody watching on TikTok. Shout out to Bianca Lynn. Bianca, I see you, homegirl. Thank you. Martial Arts Film Freak, thank you for tapping in. Theo, the Avengers Fanatic. What's up, y'all? What's up? On the YouTube side, we got Wiley. Wiley. Yo, Wiley Todd left a super chat. Okay, I'm coming to that right now, Wiley. We got Cloudy Sky said crazy. Little Jimbo said Charlie Kirky. It's okay, Rocky said last week tonight with John Oliver is one of the best shows that could get cut with this merger. Yeah, we're going to talk about all the potential TV stuff that's gonna get lost. Wiley Todd with the super chat. Thank you so much, Wiley. Wiley, one of our members. Thank you for Wiley. You don't get real ones tomorrow morning early. Not the topic for tonight, but just got a Scream 7. It was awful. Yeah, we were just talking about Scream 7. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's good. Devontae Hutley, what's up? Yeah, I know tonight's usually Sabak night. But yeah, we getting live on First Cut Live right now, you know?
Yeah, we had to switch it up for this this crazy news, man. Yeah, talk to me a little bit about that RB3 when it comes to that kind of vision that Paramount could potentially have and what that potentially means for the industry.
Right. I mean, the biggest thing that Paramount was gunning for seemingly was for the TV networks. That was the one thing that Netflix didn't want to include in their deal because Netflix just doesn't believe in linear TV. And to be honest, linear TV is dying. Like, nope, cable cutting is real, and nobody really does that anymore in terms of like have all these cable networks, and nobody really watches CNN. But Trump still cares about CNN, so he was really his whole agenda is really to target those assets. I have the tweet here from Discussing Film. Paramount is expected to now own the following assets and film rights. Assets include TNT, CBS. We already saw what Glenn Wiseman and all them right-wing jokers are doing at CBS right now. CNN, MTV, which barely exists, TCM, Showtime, Adult Swim, RIP to my show, Smiling Friends. I feel like they might have got the tip off about this and was like, nah, we out. DC Studios, Paramount Plus, Nickelodeon, HBO and HBO Max, Harry Potter with this, stuff going on. Cartoon Network, Comedy Central, and Comedy Central obviously is where the Daily Show is at. Another far left kind of show that people tap into. Film rights, of course, Star Trek, Gremlins, Beetlejuice, DC Comics, Tom and Jerry, Harry Potter, Citizen Kane. Imagine the erasure they're gonna have to Citizen Kane in this whole situation, right? No more freedom of the press. Transformers, A Quiet Place, Looney Tunes, Conjuring, Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones, Dora the Explorer. That's getting axed. Mission Impossible, Lord of the Rings, SpongeBob SquarePants, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Dune, Minecraft, which they only have distribution rights to, the Monsterverse, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Godzilla. Yeah. Again, Godzilla, one of the most anti right-wing shit that we have in media, or at least it should have been, or at least that's what it was originated for, anti-fascism. It's here's the thing. I'll break it down a little bit for some people who might be a little skeptical that things are going to be that extreme. I saw a couple people on Twitter telling us to, hold the brakes or, don't take it so far and all this kind of stuff. Because there's obviously a lot of jokes happening right now, and I see the jokes, and some of them are funny, I can't lie. As far as the DC comic stuff. Some of them are funny, I can't lie. But here's the thing. When people say not much is going to change, at the beginning, not much will change. These will be incremental changes. And the problem is, this isn't going to be the extreme political atmosphere that we see currently in the administration. This will be small details that are taken out of films and taken out of scripts, whether it's a black character, an LGBT character, a line that they might not approve of, a line that mentions something anti-fascism or anti-power or whatever they consider to be not appropriate or not suitable for them. So it'll be small changes that will have a major impact on the larger Hollywood industry. Imagine an industry that is so open about their hatred of people of color that it won't be necessarily that we're not going to have any people of color. It'll be that we'll have much less. And it'll be that they're not going to promote those roles. They're not going to give out those roles. They're going to say, we don't really care about black writers. We don't really care about black directors. We don't really care about immigrants who are writing or come from different perspectives. We don't care about that anymore. And that's the kind of stuff that, to me, is pretty terrifying. And it's pretty sad because that's what we'll see. Again, small changes, roles that are not offered, jobs that are not given. It won't just necessarily be just like what everyone's joking about on Twitter, which is like, I don't know, Superman joins ICE or some shit. Like, it's not going to be like that, but it will be pretty severe for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's gonna be little ways. I like just like Martial Arts Film Fan said on TikTok. AEW is about to censor the anti-ICE chants in the crowd, stuff like that. It's like the little stuff of dissent, of protest. They already got rid of Stephen Colbert. You know, again, the Comedy Central of it all. Like, you know, Jon Stewart is very anti-Trump. You know, the whole Daily Show is very anti-Trump. CNN, of course, they be staying going in on Trump. I don't know if you've seen CNN. They have a new show recently with, it's actually a pretty good one with Roy Woods Jr., Amber Ruffin, and
I did see. I saw an ad for it. Yeah,
that's actually a decent show. It's actually a decent little like late night show that they got. But it's like, you know, stuff like that. You know, diverse cast, anything that's marginally not some clean cut, you know, middle of America kind of thing. Yeah, it's gonna get stomped upon. And yeah, unfortunately, man, I just hate to see it. I hate to see it on so many fronts, man. I hate to see it with the TV side of it. I hate to see it with the movies. Like you said, DC is, you know, we're already kind of getting to finally a good place with DC. And it's like we're already getting to a good place, but it's already very like white leaning already. And it's like, where's it going to go next? Like I remember, man, back in the pandemic, they was talking about getting us a Michael B. Jordan Superman for a second. You remember that? Like, could we get some of that back at the table? But yeah, it's tough. Carter, meanwhile, tapped in. Not Mateo Verde. Is that Matt Green? Is that Matt Green? Matt Green tapped in too on TikTok. Salute to everybody tapping in on TikTok and on YouTube. I know YouTube is kind of weird. We got 2 streams going on. We're going to figure it out, man. We're doing vertical and horizontal at the same time, but we're going to figure it out. But yeah, hey, yo, Matt Green, salute to you, brother. Thanks for tapping in, man. Thanks for tapping in. But yeah, it's oh man, it's a scary situation. It's scary, and it's also really sad because you could tell, you know, again, I don't root for corporations, but I think Netflix had better intentions in this whole thing than Paramount did. And Netflix, the Netflix CEO actually did put out an apology, not an apology, but a little statement following the news. This is actually a statement from Netflix. Salute to my man Dan Murrow. Got the screenshot from his show. It says the transaction. This from Netflix's site. The transaction we negotiated would have created shareholder value with a clear path towards regulatory approval. However, we've always been disciplined and at a price required to match the Paramount Skydance latest offer. The deal is no longer attractive, so we're declining to match Paramount and Skydance's bid. We believe in the strong stewardship of Warner Brothers' iconic hands. Ooh, made it twice. Blah, 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 blah. You see the statement on screen, man. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. It's a sad state of circumstances, but you know, this is just kind of how it plays out with corporations with money, you know?
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things where for people who are not as plugged in as other people in the industry are, it's small details that really make the industry run, and not having those be even open. Again, it's less opportunity for people to even have the opportunity to pitch a movie. Those little kind of things that the door will not be open for those people is kind of the terrifying part and the scary part. That includes the job loss. It's not just job loss. It's having the door closed on a lot of jobs. Yeah. And that's what makes it even more terrifying, is that not just the people who are about to get fired, but the people who will never have an opportunity anymore to pitch their movie to Warner Brothers. And that's sad, especially if people have good pitches for those IPs that you named, because some of those IPs are really good, and some of those IPs have some great POC characters, and who knows what will happen to them.
Yeah, no, good. I mean, yeah, it is really coming down to the writers and directors of it all. I don't know, in a world where we have this kind of version of Paramount, do we get Paramount/Warner Brothers? Do we get a Sinners? Do we get something like a One Battle After Another, right? Because those are very non-conventional films. Like, even Warner Brothers even greenlighting those to begin with is already kind of a risk. But they not only greenlit them, they promoted them and made them hits. I mean, one battle after another didn't make the most amount of money, but it's on the tip of everybody's like tongue right now. It might win Best Picture. Sinners is obviously the peak of the cultural zeitgeist of the past year. Kendrick mentioned it in his songs now. You know what I mean? So it's like we're actually finally we're actually kind of getting back to like that golden age of like 2018, 2019, when we was just getting like mad black and diverse movies. And now it's just kind of, now it's kind of seemed like it's fading away.
Yeah, and that's such a sad reality that I just don't know where it takes the film industry. Because if this escalates quickly, which it can, it will escalate in a manner in which it will be a little bit more blunt and a little bit more upfront and a little bit more, if you're not with us, you're against us. And, if you're black, then get the fuck out of here. Like that kind of blatantly racist that we're seeing from a lot of other people. It won't be like that right away, but if shit continues, then it'll definitely turn like that soon. And that's what's, again, even more sad. That there won't be an opportunity for anyone who doesn't fit a certain agenda and a certain way about themselves. So, yeah, it's just a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer. It's kind of weird how this whole like Paramount, money kind of situation is kind of unfolded like behind the scenes as well. Because, of course, when we initially heard the reports, there was seeming, it was like, how's Paramount going to afford this? They looked like they were getting some like Saudi Arabia money involved, some kind of like Middle Eastern money involved, which is, a lot of people do, a lot of investors do that. That's not unusual. But it looks like, when they were offering these all cash offers, the WB shareholders was like, yo, like, okay, but like for real, where are you getting this money from? Because you just lost a lot of money last year. You've been losing a lot of money doing all these acquisitions. Like the Skydance acquisition created a lot of debt. Where are you going to get the money? And of course, Daddy Larry Ellison, AKA the OG, Lex Luthor, one of the OG, like rich, evil, behind the scenes, lurking bad guys, because now we see a lot of them, Peter Thiel, all these weird folks that are just coming out of woodworks and kind of exposing their demonry to like the rest of the world. But, he's always been an OG with that, Larry Ellison. People even say, I think there was even a Forbes article that came out about him that called him like the one of the scariest men on the world or something like that. So these are awfully sickly rich people. Larry Ellison had to put up 40 B's acts to try to help his son, David Ellison, get this deal done. And if the story of David Ellison, he's a failed film school graduate, couldn't finish film school, rich kid, couldn't finish. He did produce a film, I think in 2008, called like Fallen Angels, which is like this really stupid war movie. David Ellison is actually playing a small part in that movie himself. I wish I had the clip. Dang, I don't have the clip on me right now.
I think I know what movie you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really trash scene. He paid for the whole film just so he could have a cameo in it. Really sad stuff. I mean, just the most beta male rich boy behavior that you could ever like imagine. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, the worst kind of people rise to the top, and this is another example of it.
Yeah, yeah, it's such a big issue, man. Because again, if that's the kind of stuff we're gonna get, I don't understand how people think that's even going to be, like you said, profitable or even considered good at all. I mean, when it comes to reception, people still appreciate that and receive that when it comes to critical reception. So the fact that might be even cut out might be even weirder. And I know Film Fan 1 says this would be bad, but it hasn't happened yet. Paramount has not bought WB. Nothing is reviewed or approved or signed. True. Again, we're speculating on what is being said by current higher ups at Paramount. Nothing is official yet. But they have basically verbal agreement. It's essentially what it is.
Yeah, I think it's not the fact that Paramount has finished the deal. It's the fact that Netflix is basically announced that they're out. Like we just showed you the statement. Taz Santos has been making other statements in the press. Like, it's very much seemed the Variety article, literally the headline says it's over. It's over because Netflix is out. It's not over because Paramount finished the deal. It's just with no Netflix on the table, it's only one option is going to be is Paramount, right? Now, again, money could fall out of Paramount's hands. We saw they had a terrible investors call recently. Their stock price is dropping extremely. Although, to be fair, Netflix's stock price has also been dropping since this whole merger conversation has started. But, you know, at that whole situation is with Netflix's stock price dropping. I think people who invest in Netflix hate movie theaters and want to see movie theaters go away anyway. And the fact that Tess Santos was saying we are going to release our movies in theaters, we are going to keep the theatrical experience, it kind of made a lot of people mad. And to be honest, I think Netflix was also kind of looking at this situation like, hey, we're willing to pay a certain amount, but at the end of the day, we're losing stock value, we're losing our investors, and we're putting up a lot of money for something that doesn't even seem like they really want the deal anyway if they keep talking to Paramount. So whatever, we'll keep our billions of dollars in our pocket. That's the difference between Paramount, Skydance, and Netflix, right? Paramount, Skydance had to ask Daddy Ellison and all these weird, Middle Eastern money to try to get that cash in hand. Netflix was ready to just pay cash. They just had $90 billion in cash just on the ready. Like, yo, here you go. We make about a third of this a month. Like, here, have it. Warner Brothers is y'all you. But again, it's real money versus like the old generation. Is the real earned money of like Netflix versus the generational old money of Paramount, Skydance / Ellison. It's a tough fight, man. We saw Knives Out. We know which side usually wins out in that situation.
Yeah, and it's also that, like you said, that Arab money, that shit's real, and that shit's scary, because again, you just never know what's attached to it. You just don't, and you just don't know what kind of other shit is attached to it. But again, I know a lot of businesses are going that route anyway, so that's fine. But it just doesn't make for a successful long run if you're Warner Brothers. But again, that's what they decided to go with, at least for now. I know Kate Van D is in the chat as well. What's up, Kate?
Hey.
She says WB had two different and new great entries into horror with Weapons and Sinners. I cannot believe they're just going to sell what they have to someone who doesn't deserve it. Yeah.
It's like we just got two great horror movies with Sinners and Weapons versus Scream. What? Scream 7? Disgusting.
Yeah.
Also, too, shout out to TikTok again. Matt Green said, when we were talking about our grievances with the situation, martial arts film freak said, as a Puerto Rican, In the Heights punched my soul. I want others to live through In the Heights. Another Warner Brothers movie, man. Like, Warner Brothers, again, during 2020, to be fair, Warner Brothers has always kind of like pushed the edge a little bit. They had a time when they was doing a bunch of Clint Eastwood stuff and kind of getting a little weird with that, too. But, with Sinners, with their backing of like all this diverse talent now, if Warner Bros. Is going in a great direction. It's kind of tough seeing it not do that. Also, too, Warhol said, and the YouTube one said, "Thank you. I just said the same thing about David Ellison paid for it all in the comments section of John Roca's video, and some moron quickly replied and said I was wrong. LOL." Yeah, man. Don't listen to these far right losers, man, because they live off of misinformation and not getting things right. So yeah, just don't listen to them jokers.
It also comes back to, ironically enough, to Scream because of what happened to Melissa. And I think people need to kind of open their ears to this a little bit too, especially people on online that I've seen be a little bit more skeptical or a little bit more hopeful for what Paramount can do. But Paramount is the one studio that said that they would create a blacklist for anyone who's anti-genocide. An open, powerful, like they literally, a blacklist, a purely like, if you speak out against genocide, we're going to blacklist you. And you will not work for this studio, and you will not work for this movie. Now imagine that for people who speak out against the current administration. Amplify that times two, right? And that's scary. Imagine that. Imagine that being in an industry that is supposed to be artistic integrity. That integrity is gone. So,
Yeah, man, it's a dark day. It's a dark day. We already saw. I mean, man, I should have had it pulled up here too, but we already saw Paramount and Skydance already doing a round of layoffs even before this acquisition happened. You know, likely doing those layoffs to try to get the money to pay for the acquisition. Right now that this two movie studios is folding in on each other, that's why it's like when people like James Cameron, we love James Cameron. I mean, listen, we love James Cameron. You know, but James Cameron, my good favorite filmmaker, one of my favorite filmmakers, you was wrong when you said that. You know what I'm saying? You was wrong for taking Paramount side, respectfully, because I know you're trying to preserve the, theatrical experience, but Paramount doesn't even care about the theatrical experience. They're going all in on Paramount Plus. That's really the whole motivation for buying the streaming sites, the TV networks. They're trying to put all of that, all of their whole old head audience. Let's be real. Paramount's a bunch of old heads, like Star Trek fans, CBS. That's old head stuff. Like, and they're trying to bring all the old head content, CNN, all of that old head stuff under one roof, monopolize that. They're trying to do the same thing. But unfortunately, again, because Netflix got cash on cash and they'll spend $80 million on a Jay Kelly, George Clooney nonsense that makes no money. They'll spend $80 million in that and not care because they have money to burn, and they're not going to lay a bunch of people off. Versus Paramount, though, they're barely making it. Like, they literally are barely making it as is. They're going to lay off a bunch of these redundancies, as they like to call them, right? Which is the people in the distribution side of the studio, the marketing sides of the studio. They say, hey, we're going to combine all of that together. So for the synergies, they're going to combine synergies. That just means layoff, y'all. We're going to see layoff after layoff. It's going to be a cold day in the industry. People, it's like when people were celebrating the Disney and Fox merger, dog. Like, it's like, oh, y'all want to see X-Men and Marvel so bad. Like, think about the thousands of jobs that's on the line.
And that's my thing. Like, when it comes to job loss, people need to realize this. And this always comes up this happened during the actor strike, during the writer strike. People always talk about like the uselessness of what an artistic job is, right? Like, oh, you're an actor, who cares? Or you're a writer, who cares? It's not that. If you really want to be cynical, it's more about who gets to have a job. It's about who's getting that money, because that money isn't just disappearing. That money's going somewhere. And that money usually goes to the top. And that's what people need to realize, that it's not that people you don't care about are getting fired. It's that people you don't care about are getting fired, but that money is going straight to people whose job it is to do jack shit. And they get paid, 200, 300 times more than the people they just fired. That's the issue. The issue isn't necessarily that it's like these jobs shouldn't matter if someone wants to be cynical about it. It's that these jobs will go away only to give more money to the people at the top. That's what should piss you off. That's what should piss everyone off, is that you're destroying the economy so that two guys can get richer versus 200 jobs, 2,000 jobs. That's sickening. That's disgusting. And I don't care who you are or what, side you fall on. That should piss everyone off, that billionaires get richer when they fire people. It's like, come on now.
You got a billionaire class. They don't care. They don't have any disregard for what, the little guy's going through, the industry's going through. We just came off of 2 strikes in the pandemic, and things are just going to get tighter. And yeah. And
it's getting worse, man. We're getting tax cuts for the highest class. That's the first thing that this administration did. We're getting prices raised for people, working families. Grocery prices are ridiculous. Rent continues to go up in just a disgusting way. It just really becomes this class struggle and class destruction, essentially, where people are becoming useless. People are not even seen as human anymore in our current society. When you have billionaires like that one guy who just came out talking about AI, where he's like, yeah, well, I don't want to train humans anymore, so I don't give a shit. And it's like, I'll train these stupid robots. And it's like, well, the robots don't have fucking kids and don't have families to feed, bro. So I think you would rather train a human being. It's the dehumanization of actual human beings that we've been seeing and we've been talking about for years. And again, which only goes back to the genocide, because again, this is all connected. All of it is connected. And it's sad. It really is sad. It's just one of those things where it's so apparent, and it's sad that people kind of just give into the brainwashing of it all, where they're okay with it because, I don't know, they like seeing military guys shoot guns in the air in movies.
Right.
So they're going to be okay with it. Just some stupid reasons for this shit, man.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable. It's very, it sucks. Dreddy84 on TikTok said, "Want this monopoly get blocked? Not with the current administration. That's why Ellison's been tight with Trump. That's why Trump has been talking about Rush Hour 4 and working with Brett Ratner and doing all these things of like alluding to, hey, Paramount's in the bag. Like Paramount's my thing." And again, he wants CNN. So it's like he gets to low key own a movie studio and CNN. He gets to kind of implement his ideology onto one of the few reputable news sources that's still out there. And it's just a race to the bottom. So it's the monopoly. There ain't no monopoly. We plan to get a monopoly right now,
Yeah, and again, it takes IP. Let's quickly go to IP before we close out the stream because I don't want to forget it. It takes IP in a really shitty direction. There's no other word for it. What is one that you're just kind of really focusing on, RB3, that's kind of making you question or seeing where things can go as far as the IP that Warner Brothers has that now is in the hands of some really terrible people?
I mean, to be honest, there's not a lot of IP that's for us right now. You know what I'm saying?
The biggest one, man, is the one. I mean, we have to talk about it. The biggest one, bro. I mean, they got DC? Batman and Superman, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
they got Wonder Woman. They got DC.
They're already that's white,
shitty, bro.
I mean, but they're already white people. I mean, what are they gonna do? Make them like more white, like Aryans? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, make them do shit they wouldn't do. I mean, we know these characters that they wouldn't do. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's like you said, the IP is going to be more washed, not a lot of social messaging. I think Superman, like for example, like with Superman, it probably won't be a low-key pro Palestine message that we got in the new Superman movie. Even though James Gunn and them run a million miles away anytime you ask them about it. Low-key they have to, though. Low-key they have to, so it's like more clever, but they would that just wouldn't fly under the new Paramount. So I definitely get you on that. Harry Potter, this already owned by J.K. Rowling. So,
well, one thing, can I push back on your DC stuff, because it isn't just Batman and Superman. There's a lot of superheroes in there, man, that we haven't seen and that we might not see anymore, or at least if we do see them, we'll get a watered down version. I think that's what's more of a bummer, in my opinion. Like you said, it's not like we're going to have a black Superman anyways, but it's less about that and it's more about like what superheroes we could have gotten that now we probably won't get, or if we do get them, it's going to be in super I don't know, watered down version of them. That to me is a little bit more upsetting. And also, just because this is a random Thursday night, I might as well say what you were saying about James Gunn. Yeah, man, I don't think he gives a shit. That's one of those things that I think a lot of people are just kind of, what my thoughts are, bro, on that. So.
I mean, yeah, no, I get it. I can't, you cannot tell. I've watched Superman like, I don't know how many times, like maybe 8 times or something. You just cannot tell me there isn't a little something in there. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, bro. The fact that he ran away from that so hard. Like, yeah. I swear, I've seen the most like spineless people be at least like, yeah, I don't like dead children. Like, at least say that shit, bro. But he ran away from it so hard that I'm just like, bro, I don't think James Gunn gives a shit at this point.
Yeah. Well, you got to duck the accusations. It's again, check out Real Ones. Me and John go into it like, they got Spike Lee looking, they canceled Spike Lee out of nowhere because he wore the Palestine flag on the suit. Like, it's you know, they are relentless with their cancellation. So it's like, you got to be careful. You got to be
I
careful.
guess, but at the same time, I feel like we're reaching a level now where I don't know, man. I just don't think there's that goodwill, or at least the fake goodwill that there was before, maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. But now, even if you do a poll on most right-wing people, they don't agree with what's happening now. I don't know. I just feel like it's such a basic thing to reject. Again, murdering of children, mass murder, genocide. It's just so basic to me that I just don't understand why it's so hard for people to understand that. I don't know. I can go off on a tangent about that shit, so I won't. So
Yeah, nah, you know how it be, man. But yeah, the martial arts film freaks on TikTok. I better see more Blue Beetle. Ooh, I don't know, buddy. I don't know. Antonio, shout out to Antonio. He's getting active in this chat too. Antonio said they got DC, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, yeah, Lord of the Rings. You know, yeah. Lord of the Rings is already, you know.
They have Lord of the Rings?
I mean, it's.
I thought Amazon had Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's kind of split like all over the place. You know?
Oh, that's right. They do have there's like two different versions of it. You're right.
Yeah, like MGM. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones one hurts for me, obviously. That one's already getting into weird territory right now, at least with Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The finale just happened. But that was a bummer too. That one's a bummer for me. Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
Obviously, as a big Game of Thrones fan, I am.
I mean, it to me, like, you know, the IPs are the thing, but it's like the filmmakers too. You know, like Ryan Coogler just, you know, really started collaborating with Warner Brothers, like, and it seemed like that collaboration was going great with this deal that he signed. And then, of course, you know, Greta Gerwig with Barbie. Like, what does a Barbie under Paramount look like? Like, are there a bunch of weird studio notes that, you know, axes out all the feminism behind it? I mean, Barbie is $1 billion movie, like, and big reason being was because of Greta Gerwig. Richard Lemon said on TikTok, said, how to get your likes up real quick. Usually watch on YouTube. Thank you. Yeah, we're on YouTube too. We're on YouTube and on TikTok. We on both. So subscribe or follow on both. We're trying to get it both popping. But yeah, Barbie. What's another? They got Chronicles of Narnia. You know what I'm saying? With also Greta Gerwig. Oh no, sorry, that's Netflix. That's Netflix. See, that's why Netflix and Warner Brothers, man, that just made sense. Like Netflix and Warner Brothers, it just made sense. Like Paramount and Warner Brothers, it don't even roll off the tongue. Like, and there's too much overlap. It really does feel like Disney, Fox, but like a right wing version of that. Like Paramount doesn't even have any theme parks, you know, like where are the Paramount theme parks? Where are they going to put the park stuff? Like,
even their IP that they currently have is all bullshit, to be honest, man. I mean, what, like you said last time, they got the Tom Cruise industry, and I know people love Tom Cruise. I don't, but I know people love him. But it's one of those things where Paramount has never had good IP. They just never have. They've always been this boomer, MAGA bullshit machine. Obviously, with their Yellowstone, 1870s, whatever the shows they put out are. But yeah, it's one of those things where, again, we just don't know when it comes to massive job loss that is guaranteed going to happen and where their vision is going to take them. And again, the incremental small changes that we're going to see that affect so many people and that closes the door on people that should have a foot in the door is now going to be permanently closed. And that to me is the most devastating part.
Yeah, it's devastating. You already can tell, and again, shout out Martial Arts Film Freak on TikTok. I subbed to Paramount Plus to binge Legend of Korra and Counsel It. You see how they fumbled this whole Avatar Last Airbender thing. Like,
oh, you don't have to tell me, bro. I've been following that shit for literally like 10 years, man. It's bad. It's bad. And if you talk to people who are insiders inside the Avatar universe, there's a guy on YouTube, I think it's the Avatarist, who has insiders who work inside Paramount, working on the Avatar movie, on the Aang movie that's coming up, and working on the new Korra series. They say that Paramount is like, basically they spit on them. Like they don't give a shit about that They think it's stupid and pointless, that they ignore their emails, their calls. Apparently it's a shit show, and that they wanted to make it a streaming movie. They don't give a shit about it's bad. It's bad. They treat that franchise like garbage, and that franchise could be one of the biggest franchises in animation. So it's weird.
Man, yeah, it's just man, and it's like that they releasing flops like Angry Birds 3 and all this kind of stuff, but like when there's like an actual real fan base, like they just don't know how to market to young people or to people at all, like people who are like under like 50. They just don't know how to market to, and it's kind of pathetic.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man. And I know it's again, I feel like right now the vibe currently in the industry in Hollywood, in LA, is just this really foggy sadness that people are really questioning where things are going to go and what will happen to opportunities and to people's jobs and to people's livelihoods. And again, to a very scary future that could be this bizarre, openly right-wing propagandist machine that is basically just state-sponsored media that should terrify people.
Man, yeah, me when I have to go into the theater and watch Paw Patrol 8. Yeah, like me when I gotta go into the theater and watch the Scream 11 that stars 80-year-old Nev Campbell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
apparently they embarrassed her in that movie. I don't know. That's what somebody said on Twitter. I'm not gonna watch that shit. I don't think anyone should watch that shit, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
In fact, you know what? I don't think anyone should watch any of that shit, bro. Don't watch Paramount no more.
Yeah, we should just get rid of all the Paramount.
Yeah.
I like the Mission Impossible movies, but again, it's how you know.
That's my thing. I don't even like those. I think those are like overrated too. You know my thoughts on those, bro. I missed the last three, but that's just me, bro. That's just me. I know people like him, but I'm just saying.
I was gonna say number 6 was the best one, Henry Cavill.
I saw that one. I saw the one where he did the flip. Yeah, the Henry.
Okay. Yeah, that was the last great one. Slug's Life on TikTok said, "Yikes!" So CBS and CNN are gonna be right leaning and super censored. Yeah, that's where they going. That's what. Yeah. Look, man. When your Facebook granny is starting to watch too much CNN, when you when you start getting a little bit too caught up on the Zionist train. Oh wait. LeBron James. Oh man. Shout out to
him too, bro.
Yeah. That's how they go, man.
Yeah, man. That's another angle of it that I know there's going to be more people who have more knowledge on that shit that I'll probably tune into later tonight or some shit or this weekend. The journalist angle is actually a real thing, and I think people are starting to see that already when it comes to CBS, when it comes to 60 Minutes and shit like that. Not being able to have full integrity when it comes to journalism. Stories getting shot down because they're not appropriate for our current vision. Actual facts that are ignored, or a lean that there's going to be so dramatic, it's going to basically be again a kind of a state-sponsored vision of only what we want to see and only the news that we want to hear. And if there's facts that contradict that, then we're going to say that's a lie. That's scary. Journalism being taken in that angle, and I know it's only television journalism and all this stuff, but these waves go deep. They're very deep. And I think that's another angle that people should be talking about as well. It's like, how is this going to affect thousands of journalists?
Yeah, the journalists, man.
Yeah,
journalists, sci-fi, Star Trek, one another left-leaning properties.
Yeah.
It's all going bad.
Yeah. Film fan said not LeBron James and what does he say? Stephen Yahoo.
Yeah.
Oh. Steph Curry.
LeBron James. Got him.
He said liquid James.
You know who they never gonna get. You know who they never gonna get.
I mean, you don't even know what's going on with him, bro.
Hey,
Steve Ballmer, bro. The kind of shit. He's pulling off.
Just a little gambling, man. I don't really care about that.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
I don't know they care about that.
That's some mafia shit he's pulling off, bro.
Dang, when we find out that Kawhi is Loki is honest too. Oh man, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. This was fun. This was different. YouTube Shorts, TikTok.
Yeah, breaking records here, man. Doing new things. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Thank you to everybody who tapped in on TikTok. Daz Hogan says, so we getting back to Obama administration. I mean, look, man, if we get it's quite the opposite because we already know. And then shout out to Cinema Gorilla, left us a heart on TikTok. We got a new follower, Zach something Zach M, Mr. Zach Montaza, followed us on TikTok off of this stream. So yeah, we had 105 people that tapped in. And Martial Arts Film Freak said, "Gotta get you guys on my podcast. I welcome you to Kung Fu." Yeah, we love martial arts movies here, man. So we definitely gotta tap in with Martial Arts Film Freak. Yeah, people watching on the YouTube Shorts, everything, man. Salute to y'all, man. Salute. Hit that like button. Hit that like button.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. This was fun. And again, it's one of those things. Trying to stay positive, trying to keep our head up, but at the same time, we got to be real when we come on this show and First Cut Live. So appreciate you guys tapping in. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe. RB3, where can everyone find you, man?
You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Director RB3. Make sure you follow us at First Cut TMO. We are getting it going with the live streaming and clips and trying to be consistent. We trying to get back at it, man. It's going.
Yeah, I was gonna say next Thursday we'll be back to our regular programming. So Back to Black is back next Thursday, so make sure you guys tap in for that. Check out our merch shop if you haven't done so already.
Merch.
Yeah.
Especially if you're on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, you don't even have to do nothing. You just got to swipe over one. Check out the merch. It's right there.
And then obviously you can follow me at Squad Leader Ace everywhere on social media. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Obviously trying to keep our heads up, but we got to be real on here. Either way, guys, for the First Cut crew, we're going to be peacing out on this Thursday night.
Come along,
so
children. Now we're going to have a little music.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a bloodbath. You do the math, take you out the equation. This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a bloodbath. Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Only one can remain. It's either me or
It's Britney, bitch.
Got him!